Okay.
Okay. Very nice, very nice. This is the greatest cookie in the world. That's what we needed to see on this video today. We will start this video by saying this is the greatest cookie in the world. And tomorrow I may have a different cookie and say the same thing. At both occasions it will have been true. So here we are now, enjoying the very best of it in every moment. As I said previous, staring at the leaf will be the most amazing experience of all your life. And every leaf you ever look at, the most amazing thing you've ever seen. Everything, every experience entirely. And if you do what you want all the time, you find out who you are and what you really want, not the things that you think you want because you believe you're somebody you're not. And you'll find a great joy and satisfaction in all the things in life. Everything will be very full like that. Like, wow, this cookie right now. Oh my goodness. How amazing. So we're talking about starting this video and what we're going to do with that kind of a thing. Bring you into the now moment with us. We were hoping that this would work, this little device here, and give us a microphone so that you would be able to hear my voice real easy and we wouldn't have to worry about wind and the distance I am from the camera, but it didn't work. It wasn't compatible, or maybe the system of the phone is not able to do that or something. I'm not sure. I've never tried it before, but here we are, and it was a failure. But we do have these amazing Bluetooth headphones, so it was very helpful on the phone to listen to music and movies and all kinds of things, so thank goodness. You hear that music? Oh, banjo string. You might not have heard it because you're so far away. It seemed pretty loud when I was talking before, though. Right now we're going to get into some energy motion, some teachings, opening up the feet, coming into the motion of the body, coming into presence. Just something that come up. I thought maybe it would be beneficial for myself and Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do to do, you know, Miss Caroline over here. It seems like Dayton will eventually be joining our videos. If you want to give a good hi to Dayton.
Hi.
Yeah, he's going to start some energy motion. Who knows how far we will go? We haven't had any discussion of this. It might just be one time, might be a million times. We never know. Anyways, it's the same thing with everybody, though. We just don't know. The moment is unknown in some way, the way it will unfold. But here we are, unfolding with it formlessly, seamlessly, amazingly, perfectly. Everybody, in every way, always. It's really phenomenal. So I'm going to smoke some marijuana. I figured we were going to begin speaking a little bit about the opening of the body. There's been a lot of really amazing experiences that have happened. We haven't really talked much about the coming to Maui, all that journey. Caroline had a kidney infection for days. Couldn't lift her backpack all week, all feeble, all scared, all worrisome, you know, all kinds of different emotions going on. It was very painful. You know, who knows, will she live, will she die? But here she is alive. One time she passed out with her eyes open, fell down, unresponsive, very scary. I'm above her. I'm like, oh, what's going on, Caroline? Are you okay? Why aren't you responding? Because she could not hear me. She was out. Who knows what was happening? Happened twice in a row right then. Water was the message here. We need water. We need to make sure we stay hydrated. And we're drinking plenty of water, even in that moment, and the moments previous that led to the UTI, that led to the kidney infection, all these different things. Water. Water is life. Mini Wachone. And so, here we are now. We got to stay with a beautiful friend at his house, and we were taken care of really well. The first few days of the journey was indoors, and now we're on this very gorgeous beach in Paia, Middle Beach, naked beach. We won't be getting too naked on the films for the matter of efficiency, really. I don't want to do any real editing, you know. Maybe it will be easy. Maybe we'll try it out one day. Right now, we don't feel really too into it. You know, I'm not very stressful, you know. Seems like a lot of force, maybe. Maybe we could do it, though. I think eventually I'll have the motivation because of how beautiful it is to see the human figure in motion, as it is in motion, as it be very important. As I have come deep into the energy flow recently, I've noticed how wearing a shirt is so much different than not wearing a shirt, and moving with the body, the fluidity of the body, and the shape of the body be very much of great and high benefit. And so that's where being naked and moving the body is very beautiful. It's really wonderful to be able to feel all of the energy very efficiently, very precisely, and have no extra drag going on. But it's okay, we'll do this. Also, it doesn't let you flex and stretch as easily. There's some extra tension, and so for a certain level of fluidity, it'd be necessary to not have anything dragging in some way, or it would seem to be of great benefit. either way, a certain level of mindfulness can always be added, and anything can be worked with. So it's always great to not gain preference. That on the time that you're unable to move as efficiently as you may believe is preferred while naked, because you have clothing at that time, it'd be very perfect that you're moving in the way that the clothing makes you move. So we can just trust and accept ourselves for whatever way we are able to move, and just move with that efficiently without wishing to make ourselves move in another way. So if you're moving as if you're naked with your clothes on, that's cool, no problem. Maybe they're very loose-fitting clothes. But if your clothes will not allow this, you may see that it eventually causes a tension point that be unnecessary, that you simply move with yourself. If you have an injury, you can still maintain movement. You just move with the awareness of the injury, and you don't stress the injury. You allow everything to make up space and come to unity and for benefit of that injury, allowing everything to strengthen and allowing energy to still stay in motion, and allowing that thing to then maybe even heal even faster as we're breathing into it and focusing on it, being present with it. Well, I figure we get into some beautiful channel practice to again just become very, very much present with certain areas of our body, feeling certain things, and being that this is one of the first times I'll talk about this to anybody in person or on camera, I figured it would be a very potent teaching to bring everybody into the view of. And I am doing a little quick, try to catch me up, here we are in this little bush, our beautiful thing, and we've had nothing but beautiful, positive arrays of energy for the entire duration. Every morning we've been having men come by, or people come by and meet us here, and we've been having beautiful Dharma talks on consciousness and activations and empowerments and frequency and things like that, all very subtly, just through the nice, beautiful process, the simplicity of the voice being transferred, and unison with people being there to receive it. Very gorgeous. And we've had just really amazing blessings, very in balance with where everybody's at in their life, and really amazing, just effortless flow, really. It's just been doing itself. I love myself to be the observer, watching all of these things, how they unfold, how it syncs with this and syncs with that and syncs with this and syncs with that. Whereas people have been having a conversation in the morning separate from me, and then as they come and say hi to me, I start talking about something that gives a fruition and a confirmation, affirmation to the teaching that was happening previous in the conversation that I was not privy to. Very beautiful how consciousness just writes itself in balance and relevance with everything very efficiently for the building up of experience and the coming to realization in whichever manner be uniquely possible and of benefit to each one of us from our own points of positioning. Very gorgeous. And so yeah, that's a little bit wrapped up. We were going to get a vehicle, but it didn't happen. Somebody's mother who was selling us the car went to jail, and now we're just kind of, maybe we won't be buying that car. It's kind of comfortable here too. If something does present itself, then great. If it doesn't, then who knows? That's great too, I suppose. So far, it seems like we're going to just start our school and our teaching right here on the beach in the videos. Dayton's come up. He seems like he wants to start the flow too. So now maybe we have two flowers. We'll find out. He helped us with the video last night, so we got two videographers possibilities. It's pretty nice so far. For at least today, we won't hold any expectation or pressure for the future. And also, friend Dylan has been coming up, and we've been having great conversation as well. Very beautiful, very gorgeous, and so excited to see where all this comes. Thank you so much. Take a hit of this marijuana real quick. This is part of the process. Love you all. Here we go. I have a cold sore on my lips, so I haven't been sharing very, very much with people. It's been quite the blessing, I can just hold it in my hand and smoke, which is fun for me. I like that. Maybe we should all have our own Chinooks, and we all just hold it in our hands and smoke when we wish. Yeah, like that leaf set. You see it fell right in the middle right here? So in the middle, like symmetrically between me. I feel like that means, and even kind of to the curvature I'm having, like in a very beautiful harmony, this leaf falling. A beautiful sentence in the book of life. What a beautiful thing, The writing of the paragraph of this moment to lead and to guide. This is something that comes into fruition constant. Something I'm always watching, the reading of the book of life, the way the wind hits, the way the blanket flies, whatever anything happens at all in life. Becoming very mindful, very present, and start to show us how everything's leading us in a really amazing, very beautiful way. And it's always been that way. We don't have to jump onto the being of lead, even if we've stopped and we've stayed somewhere for 5 to 20 to a million years. It's no big deal, we were led there. Eventually we just come into tune to how everything's moving, and for us specifically, uniquely, we can, share ourselves with each other and be able to harmonize easier with one another, who are still, in a way, each other, but uniquely expressing from points and positioning separate, but together again, not separate, just in the same spot, different. Eventually we'll find out how that fractals, and we'll find a good way to articulate that nice and easy and fluidly in the moment. I wonder where we're leading. For some reason I'm not feeling any energy to get up at this moment, but I'm like feeling like the mind antsiness of like, aren't we supposed to be getting up and showing things? Like, what's going on here? Why am I not doing the thing I expected? Well, it's okay to let go of expectation, allow the moment to unfold on its own. I got this weird kink in my neck right now. It's very sad. I was playing my flute in a funny manner, and it's no big deal. I've been wondering if we're ever going to get back into energy flow, and we have. The toes have been opening, and I told myself yesterday that I'm in the best flow that I've had my whole life. The precision I have, the ability to stay present with it. And so that's what we're coming into right now when we're talking about the foot flow and everything. And just the amount of presence and awareness I'm going to be bringing us into, and hopefully in a very simple way that's easily transferable to everybody from wherever they are at. It seems to be doing that pretty easily, constantly, consciously. So I trust that it'll be that way. For whoever watches it, it'll be exactly what you're looking for, or whatever, even if it confuses you, I suppose. But yeah, I may not be as strong as I was though, so the muscles are still coming into development. But this is important, the way in which we're going into this from this point. A lot of the times I've built muscle, or 3 times in my life I've tried to build muscle, and each time I was subject to the law of the Tao, that if you have gain, you will have loss. And the only 3 times that I tried to gain in that way, and each time was like an equal opposite balance of recovery time, to where I had to become very weak. I lost all that I had gained. It's very funny. But otherwise in life, when I was not trying to gain, I became very strong, no problem, very natural. I wasn't trying to gain at all though. I was just simply strong. I was that way. And so I've gone back into that pattern where life does this on its own. Now this practice is like a training in a certain sense, but it's also not a training for growth in a certain sense as well. It's not creating a polarity in the gain and have loss structuring. It's a following of the flow, it's a deep desire, to learn through this following of the flow, this very subtle way, so it's not for the means of going somewhere in a certain sense, but in a means of resting where you are, in another sense, but also not having to stay fixated to preference of where you are, so that you can follow with the fluidity, the channel as it's moving. And all of this comes into focus very easily through the experience of it. Each one of us has an easy ability to step into intuitive flow, but there was a lot of different balances that allowed me to step into the chord shape that allowed a really quick acceleration in a way, and with my own path that I wish to share. Different realms of structure and force, but also a lucidity, a looseness, an ability to be flexible, versatile, but also with a very powerful sense, so this was energies that were a lot like fighting energies, but also more like what a child would be using them. So more imaginative, more just about false, fake, hypothetical scenarios, nothing real in a certain sense, but also the ability then to move oneself with 100% of oneself's drive, so maybe now you're acting as a character in a movie, some kind of amazing martial arts master, moving tons of people in the armies around you, stopping 1,000 blows, you're so fast, walk. This kind of amazing ability to act in a way, to imagine, to make believe, to play make believe, is something similar to how it feels to embody yourself when you're unaware of yourself. You're unaware of yourself as the energy mover. You're unaware of yourself as the completely balanced practitioner. But there is a way to step into the groove of energy that will bring you into the understanding and the knowing of where you are already, which is this, as you are pure consciousness. And so you can step into this awareness. Now this stepping into this awareness will be a lot like what they explain the law of attraction, to where, you know, you have to become the energy before it is physically present within your reality, before it can be even physically present. If you wanted to be the poor man or the rich man from the place of the poor man, you would have to simply believe in yourself already as the rich man. Even if you were still in the place of a poor man, you would have to believe in yourself as the rich man, and then everything in life will align to show you that yes, that is right, you are the rich man. And so by this law of attraction, by embodying this frequency, then all of the things that go with that frequency come into alignment with your embodiment. So okay, a rich man has this and has that and has that and has that. And so when you become the rich man, oh, but you're missing these things that a rich man has. Now these things must be added unto you because you are the rich man and they belong there with the rich man. And so too also, this with the confidence that comes into pure awareness. When you're pure awareness, then everything will come into alignment to show you the things, or take away from you the things, or whatever it is, right your path, bring you into alignment with the refining of what you are, what you have believed yourself to be, what you have aligned your very subtle frequency to be. Now, all things outside of that extreme subtle place where pure awareness begins can align to show you that yes, this is this. And so a lot like this, you know, coming into the embodiment of yourself as you are. And so if you any time find out that yes, you are a fully enlightened being, that all things all in consciousness as well, only if you found out all these things were, would you actually be able to think of yourself as this, because you know your own thoughts, you know your own mind, you know the frequencies that are constantly pervading your inner world. And so anytime that you have a dissonance without here, it will not be able to pass through you unnoticed, and so it will exist here. So no problem. You would definitely have the thought. You would definitely have the story bouncing here, no problem. If it's not here, then you've accepted it so fully you never notice it. It passes by like the wind, or even more subtle than. That's why a lot of people who accept happiness and really love happiness don't have it. Well, it passes them by like the wind, you know, or even more subtle than. And so they never notice it. But these other things they don't accept, they notice them. They notice them frequently. Why? Well, those are the things they clench the channel to. It can't pass through very easily. So it cannot pass through like the wind. It must bounce and bump and break and congest and cripple and stretch and do whatever it can to make it through in the shape it was wishing to. If you would allow its shape to go through without inhibition, without judgment, you would never notice its shape, because the channel that it moves through is its exact right shape. Only your clenching would fuck that up, you know. And if you give too much, then it's gonna come out in a great surge. So you finally learn the balance. And as it turns out, as you come into points of awareness, you'll notice that you could never have not balanced correctly. Even your imbalance was a correct balance for the way it led you to balance. And also, eventually you see that balance is impossible to not be had, because there's nothing balancing on anything but itself, and so it is forever balanced upon itself. The only thing in existence. We'll see that as we talk about the endless knot style structure that was coming through in a previous conversation with Dylan yesterday. Very beautiful. And also it's come through with us, but it came to such a great rate of articulation due to his consciousness and where he was. How beautiful is this? So we'll also be bringing more into talks in the morning with all these people that come by, and any kind of talk. We'll be doing our best to capture it on film, that we bring the amazing teaching, the Dharma conversation to utter efficiency, that we don't have to repeat ourselves, that we capture it all, you know, and get it all out there. Everybody here, you know. Amazing things coming through. But, yeah. And so I keep imagining that I'm going to get up at any moment, so that's where you hear the but-ums. I'm like, oh, am I going to get up now? And then I don't get up. I don't know why. I don't have the energy. It's ridiculous to me. Why don't I just motivate myself or something? It seems like I have all the motivation in the world to do all of the things in which I need to do. Look at this endless channel speaking. You know how much energy people say it takes to talk to people? There are Native American elders that say you must pay them to hear their teachings because of how much energy it is that transfers through them. But that also shows you the limitation of that cultural teaching, whatever it is that they're thinking egoically. They believe that they're limited, that they have a finite amount. I had a friend that was taught me Native American culture. He told me, stop accelerating, you're going to burn up. Stop having medicine ceremony, you're going to burn up. Be careful. Well, as it turned out, I was a crazy person. I didn't care if I burned up. Then let me burn. That's how I felt when people told me things like that. I was such a rebel. Let me burn then. I'm going anyway. This made what I was doing very pure because I really thought it was possible, since this person said this to me, that I could burn up. And so I gave myself, even with the possibility, for my wish to be of benefit to all beings everywhere without one exception, to the greatest amount of me possible. I would not stop rising. I would do this the best I could for everything. Thank goodness, even if it meant me burning. Very beautiful the way that people in life provided me chord shapes of dissonance that would allow me purity in my action, that would allow me a selflessness by the inability to do anything but accept the possibility of what they said to be true, as I knew I did not know that maybe they do know more than I do. Even though I didn't want to accept what they said, who knows? So it's very beautiful, their great blessing. Without my friend saying this to me, you could say that, oh, fuck that man. Well, without him saying it to me, I may not have been able to make this very pure intention true. It was this belief that I could burn up that really gave a great honoring to what was happening. There was times that I had given what I thought to be all of my energy to some being, and it had begun that way, and then it was the thought of like maybe not doing it for some mean of myself. No, it doesn't matter. Then I'll give it all to them. I'll give them all of myself, and may they have it so much, all of me, that they accelerate faster than I ever could and help all beings, no matter what it may mean for myself. It was so beautiful, the humility caused by the possibility of this polarity being true. But as it turns out, no, it's not true. You cannot burn up. The more you give, the more you get to give. You are a limitless being. And so there are cultures, there are beliefs, there are understandings that believe that we are limited there, that we are a being that needs to be controlled and fitted and needs to be arranged in a certain way to bring ourselves to a close relation with perfection. But as it turns out, we are already occurring as perfection, and it's only the belief that we are occurring as otherwise that creates the imagery or the pattern recognition of otherwise. But still, there is no otherwise occurring. And so eventually we can come into what is true and what is real, and we can release the stories of imperfection, and we can rest into what we are actually, start noticing it, becoming mindfully aware. Rome wasn't built in a day. There's a lot of perspective gained by experience, and experience is gained with time. You sit here and you are aware, you are present. How long have you been? This many years. How many experiences? How many people have you spoken to? How many times have you contemplated yourself? How long? What are we doing? I came into points of great understanding, great awareness, great wisdom, and it still took many years to center like I center now. And I'm still centering more and more, falling more and more deeply into me. So I imagine we will all do this, and that it will be experience that shows us there are ways that we can come to understanding, conceptual knowledge. We finally understand past a pattern of our past. But still, we will have to be presented with that pattern in our physical reality to be able to show ourselves that yes, we have indeed integrated that knowledge, and we have indeed transcended that curvature, and that we have moved past that wall and that blockage, and we have found the promised land on the other side of that great river that we have very amazingly, very beautifully navigated, very difficultly, but we are standing victorious, heroic on the land on the other side of that beautiful water. And so each one of us will go deeper and deeper into these lands, deeper and deeper into these experiences, and more will they come. And only when we are ready will it come. And it will come in the way in which we are ready. It will come in the way in which we need. Maybe we get turned off and we feel we've failed, but that is necessary. That will be for our benefit as well, whatever it will happen, so that we can see how perfect it is. That is not perfect in the way in which we fixed it. It is perfect in the way that it is always, no matter what. And we can come into that amazing versatility and releasement of judgment, and come into alignment with how we are always, and allowing ourselves always, and accepting ourselves always. And we will see how that radical acceptance, born from experience and showing and knowing, from seeing it actually right here in the physical reality that we exist within, that it will bring settling to our frequency, that no longer will these unknowns be shocking to us, that we will be able to rest in the breath without being moved into happy or sad, but we will be able to be balanced when they come fully spontaneously in the moment, that we can be fully glad, that we can be fully sad, that we can be fully any of these things in a centered and balanced way, without the need of crazy triggering or agitation, but experience brings this to us. And So at first it's always alarming. We breathe. The sooner we get to catching our breath, the easier we will come to settling more quickly. And the more that we do not wish to ever see ourselves as settling, no matter how loud or quiet our frequency is, the more beautiful we can see every tone to be exactly right for all beings everywhere without one exception in every moment, the more we can rest in the center of their frequencies and see how no matter if it goes woo or it goes woo, they were the same, and they were sitting in the same position as perfect consciousness and perfect awareness, and then that transmitted data can transmit its radiance to the whole of reality and to all beings entirely in equanimity, as it always is actually, in unity and harmony, in singularity, all beings everywhere without one exception. Thank you. And maybe we'll wait a second, take a breather before we do anything too much further. You're gonna grab the stand? Is that?
Yeah, I gotta pee too.
Oh,
so.
beautiful.
Do you mind holding it for a second? Thank you.
Ah, gorgeous. I was going to say maybe we could stop it for a second, but it's okay.
Maybe pause it?
Huh?
Pause it?
I just figured I might smoke and maybe we as a crew would talk. For some reason, whenever the camera comes on, I always have something to say to whoever this imaginary viewer is. You know, and I just wanted to talk to you more directly. It's so funny. Maybe we could just still talk directly. Is it on still, or did you pause it?
No, I haven't paused it.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was like, okay, because odd place to pause it just there. I didn't say goodbye yet.